Why are you looking at me? I'm not.
You made a face.
No, it's just my face.
I get it. What's everybody working on? I'll start.
Yep. Yeah, why don't you start?
Yeah, I know. So new jug and piston rings and piston are in the Moto 4. Seems to be a handful less smoky.
One handful?
One handful worth
For
of
those
smoke.
of us who don't know, that unit of measurement is that
It's close to
less?
Ugga Dugga. Yes, it is. It is a literal handful. No, I was driving around the other day after the fact, and it seems to be a little better. Carb needs tuned a little bit, or something needs adjusted still, but other than that, it's pretty good. Way less smoky. I feel like I'm not the mosquito guy driving up and down my street.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty smoky.
It was. I'm pretty sure Kevin's entire property and probably the inside of his house smelled like that for a few days.
It's not
But-
his first rodeo with that.
No.
No.
Yeah, no.
But, yeah, so it seems all right. It smokes a little bit when it gets up to temp, but not half as much as it was. So,
What kind of oil did you put in it?
The oil kind.
yeah, the kind you're supposed to use.
Oh, okay. Because I put the wrong stuff in it. Mine smokes a little bit because of it.
Well, I use I think it's 540 4-stroke.
Yeah, that you
Wet-
get the
wet
actual
clutch.
4-cycle
Yeah.
wet clutch stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I put BMW synthetic in mine because we had some
Ooh.
of that.
Yeah.
When I put the new piston in it,
Yeah.
and I haven't touched it since.
Uh-oh.
That was, 2 years
I would
ago?
just
Can
get
I-
weird
can I make a
Only
recommendation?
because of the wet clutch stuff.
Yeah.
That's
No.
like,
It does
Highly-
shift funny because of it.
Yeah, I would change that now before.
It's been a while.
Because
It's
that's
been
what-
2 years, Dave.
Oh, and it's fine.
No, I don't know. It's all right. I bet the clutch would be better if I didn't have that oil in
Yeah.
it. But
I will say when I did pick up the Moto 4 originally, I just threw whatever oil I had in it just to run it, and I'm pretty sure that's probably what did the clutch in. Not to mention there was pieces of clutch plate sitting all over the place. So
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, not all oils
are equal.
are the same. Yeah,
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
especially when you're dealing with things
Holy
that have
shit, Kevin, this is
frictions.
wonderful.
Yeah, dude.
It tastes like Yoo-hoo, alcoholic Yoo-hoo. This is amazing. Oh no!
I superglued my arm.
What did you do?
Dude, that's why I can't have super glue around.
You weren't
Just-
even gluing anything.
I know. Somehow I got a drip of super glue in my arm hair.
You
which
pulled it
is
out of your drawer and it
Significant and
I have to scrape it off with a scraper.
uncomfortable.
So yeah, Moto 4 stuff seems to be good. I'm ready for the next Palooza whenever Kevin decides to do that. Corrado's fine. Every other car is fine. I haven't driven the Mark IV in months as usual. I should probably do that. Probably throw an oil change in it since it's nice out.
Pretty sure you're hosting a sick car meet tonight, right?
Oh yeah,
It's not a sick car meet. It's a get together, Kevin.
a gathering,
A gathering, an automotive gathering.
a protest.
No, it's really not. We were over there. We stopped over there before the Superfly meet the other day. That was like, boy, and the that's as much extent as we're gonna
Boy.
go to. Yeah. We stopped over there, and I was like, this would be a pretty decent place for like just a meet spot because it's like there's a Handles, there's a Starbucks there. It closes at like 10. The parking lot's brand new. It's not like in the middle of Akron. It's kind of on outskirts. So like pretty low key, kind of. Just want to see what happens there, but
It's like it's in Akron though.
well, it's over. It's next to Goodyear Theater, right? It's the parking lot next to it, like all that new redone area.
I got nothing. I know nothing about Ohio.
No, okay, that's fine.
I've been into Akron like twice, I think, in the last 5 years.
I live in Akron. I've been into it like legitimately 3 or 4 times, and it's with you guys.
Or you could say you're always in Akron.
Yeah.
I know, but like into, you know what I mean? Like,
No, I
along
do,
the
yeah,
line.
that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. I think that was the
That way?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that way.
Well,
It's
it's
that way.
that way and that way. It's both.
You're saying we're in the middle.
Well, no, we're on the outskirts, but it goes.
All right.
We don't need this.
Yeah.
People
Right.
don't.
No.
I don't want to listen to this.
So yeah, I did throw a meet together tonight, so we'll see how it goes. I would like to continue to do it, but I don't want it to get out of hand. I don't really like shenanigans on a low key level, but
I live for shenanigans.
I do. But like,
I'm not there
I
unless
don't.
there's shenanigans.
I don't want to. At an H2O scale, fine. Shenanigans are great, but on like a
H2O
small
every
local
meet.
level, like with
Yeah.
new businesses, I'm like not okay with it because like don't be a fucking asshole. Like I don't know.
I mean, I don't want to destroy any property or anything.
Right.
But
Well, I don't think anybody really wants to do that. They just get a little out of hand sometimes. But yeah, so I'm gonna have a little meet tonight at Handles, get some ice cream, and just kind of hang out. I'm supposed to go get tacos at like 7 with my buddy Phil. We'll see what happens with that. But that is all I have. Nothing new on my side besides those things.
lovely.
Yeah.
Kevin.
I spent some time building a hut for my compressor. So that's nice. That's done now. I had a concrete pad. I just had to like make a structure and make a door and hinges and a roof and seal it, which I pretty much got everything done. And I put the compressor out there. I started the hard line for it. I gotta finish that up with some fittings, but I need to make it like undoable so I can put a wall up and not have a 90-degree pipe to go around.
So my initial thought when I saw your post on Instagram with that, I was like, that's going to be a sick urinal. Like, that's all I could think of. Like, you're putting a urinal on the backside of the barn, and it's going to be sick. And then after
You don't need a urinal for that.
No, I know, but like, that's sick.
No.
We have a urinal at my
The
dad's
world
barn.
is your urinal.
Yeah.
That's true.
I put my 60-gallon compressor in there, and it looks super tiny.
Does it fit, though?
Yeah,
That's all that matters.
Wait, the hut looks tiny or the compressor looks tiny?
the compressor looks tiny.
Oh.
You take it out of a small garage setting like this, and I mean, Mike's probably look pretty small too,
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
without the context.
So that's nice.
Yeah.
In other news, we are now pursuing court-ordered title
Uh-oh.
for the B7.
Oh yeah.
So first step is send a letter to the guy.
All right. Well, hang on. You got to dial it back here because you filled me in on this yesterday.
Oh, yeah,
or
I
the day
got-
before. So
Well, I got one text message at the end after contacting his fiance and getting a response
Oh, boy.
from her saying he'll respond to you. I got one text message saying that he's been in quarantine for 2 weeks. That's why he hasn't responded for 2 weeks. And that now he has COVID and has to be in the hospital. Well, I guess that would be, Monday. Yeah, so this week he's in the hospital, apparently. But then I found out
Allegedly.
through the BMV that the title is still being held electronically and it's never been printed. So everything he's told me up to this point about it being shipped and being sent back and UPS envelopes and all that stuff is just a lie. So don't understand why this guy's stringing me along.
but it's like still going. You know, it's still like I don't know.
I think he's done at this point because I told him what I found, so he knows that I know now.
Surprise.
So now, not to be like grim or anything, but if the guy does have COVID and he actually like croaks,
Oh, no.
is it possible to get the title then, or is it just that just goes
I
out
feel
the
like
window?
yes, it's 100% possible. I've had motorcycles from people that have passed
So
away.
yeah, you
Oh,
have
well,
you
all
can,
right, you have to
can
do-
do stuff.
Yeah.
So the first step in this process is to send him a letter basically saying, get a notarized signature that says you're giving me power of attorney so I can get the title. That's basically what the first step in the process is. If he doesn't respond, then you have to go further. But the letter is sent out for that, and that's how you would normally get a title from someone like that anyway, if they had died or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, no title. That's it.
Oh yeah, I guess I'm next.
Yeah, that's you.
I don't know, not a whole lot. I went to go try and get motivated in the garage the other day. I was just having a lot of trouble, and I told myself, I was like, well, maybe if I like clean everything, put all the tools away, everything nice and tidy, then I'll feel motivated. Because sometimes, when you just got a bunch of stuff out, you're just like, it's just not a place you want to be, right?
off-putting, yeah.
So I got really carried away cleaning, pulled everything out, started power washing stuff, sweeping floors, and that instead of actually getting other things done, I just spent the whole time doing that. So, but it was good. It did help motivation later in the week. Otherwise, what did I do? I don't know. I've just been kind of like picking away at stupid little things the truck has needed, and yeah, I don't know. Nothing super exciting though. We'll see. This weekend's supposed to be really nice. So, oh yeah, we didn't talk about that at all.
Oh, yeah.
You boys are drifting.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
You can
tomorrow,
still go.
tomorrow my
I
plan is
still
still
want
to
to
do.
go, but I don't have enough tires. I do. I don't know. It's
Yeah, you do.
All right, I
I
got
do
two
have
in the
enough.
back of the
You just
truck
got
right
two
now.
more the other day.
oh no. Yeah.
Uh-oh. I said because you can't say no to that.
I know. You're making this difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So, anyways, tomorrow's supposed to be nice. Do some more work on the truck, but then Sunday we signed up to do another drift event at Midvale. Well, at least Kevin and I. Mike's being a little baby.
Oh.
Yes, it should be good. Weather should be nice. It won't be like 100 degrees this time.
Yes.
Did you see the Patrick Star meme?
Oh, I sure did. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So you built a drift car, and you like drifting. And the car you built is for drifting at the track, right?
Yep.
Seems legit to me. So go drive the event on the 9th.
Can't. Right, Mike?
I mean,
You're gonna end up going.
Can't drive your drift car?
Yeah.
I can drive it. It's fine.
I don't know. Kind of seems you can't
I
drive
just
it.
have to run one the Friday, not today. Next Friday. That's the other event I'm running.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to make sure my stock of tires and money will last until then.
It's a one-day event, right?
You going one day?
Yeah, from noon to 9:30.
Where's this
So the
one at?
last Midvale event, granted it is Thompson, so I mean, I guess it's going to be a little faster even still, right?
Yeah, it's part of
Could
the
be.
road course. They call it the clubhouse circuit.
Yeah.
It
It
is-
doesn't mean you
but,
burn more tires.
No, not necessarily.
It could be less. I mean, it
Could
just
be.
depends. Depends on the surface, which it should be pretty good. Less cheese grater, right? For a road course, like generally less cheese grater.
No,
That's
they have
not
their
how it
own
works, but-
like, side section thing that's not.
Oh.
part
It's
of
part of the
right?
road course.
Oh, okay.
But they have another, like, a couple different things they've had paved that are extensions off the road course. It'd be like a little chicane type of deal. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe I'll get persuaded.
Scumbagged.
Just get back into it. Yeah.
Yep.
We know you're not doing transmission things this weekend, so
No, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, well, we might as well just transition to Mike on that note.
Yeah. So the transmission saga I've decided to ignore for a while I collect parts to fix it in some other way. So I've been doing a bunch of research into other transmissions. So that's interesting. I talked to a guy today. I might go buy that one. We'll see. But
Well,
I've turned out if the tuner's all the way down.
Well, last weekend.
Oh yeah, I drenched myself in ATF,
Oof.
pulling it down to change the fluid and filter, and then I did the band adjustment, and then I went to the Type F Ford fluid, which has got more bite to it. It's kind of like if your transmission's slipping, like this is kind of the Band-Aid. So I'll see what this does. And it seems about the same. Maybe a little bit more bite. Shifts are definitely firmer. So like the clutches inside the trans are fine. The torque converter's still the problem. So I've decided to ignore it for now. If you turn the tuner all the way down, it doesn't really slip that bad. And yeah, I think I'm going to pursue other options for transmissions instead. Because like a
So even though
converter,
the transmission isn't bad,
right? The transmission's fine. Well, it's okay.
you're
It's
gonna
bad.
put it in the trash can.
It is the worst part of the truck. It's always been the worst part of the truck.
Yeah.
Like
Every
so.
automatic and every diesel is the worst part of the truck.
The newer ones are good. That
okay.
era are
I'm
bad.
talking about things we can afford here.
Yeah. The things we can afford which are old. So, yeah, I'm looking into like how to put like a medium duty Allison into it, and there's stuff to make it bolt up from school buses and all sorts of random junk I have no idea about. So that's what I've been doing, some Googling, some learning. Otherwise, Shane and I spent yesterday building a workbench in my trailer, finally, which came out sick, except I made it 3 inches too low because I'm an idiot. So I have to move it up a little bit, but it's not that big of a deal. But it came out really nice.
We'll have to take a look at it.
Take a look.
Yeah, I have to take a look because I'm really excited about it, and it came out pretty fancy. And now I'm kind of bummed I have to take it apart a little bit to move it up. Measure twice, cut once. But
Sound like my dad.
measure twice, cut twice.
yeah, there was one piece that I cut like
Just goes
at
up
least
from there,
four
I mean.
different versions of that were still all too short. It was pretty funny.
Nothing's better than trying to take a whisker off of a piece of wood with a circular saw, just like a blade's width. Like
Yep.
Yeah,
What is Play-Doh?
yeah.
garbage.
Yeah, it's not my
It is
material of choice.
significantly better with a chop saw. Or
That's why I did it at
miter
Shane's
saw?
house.
It's
is
funny.
it a miter saw if it's just a chop, or is it just a chop saw? Though?
No, it's a miter saw.
They're a combination usually. I mean, like
miter's
it
like
could.
Chop saw, I think, is metal. I
Yeah,
don't-
but a miter saw
no,
like slides back and forth. So
No,
you can
that's
go
a
down.
radial arm saw.
That's an arm saw, yeah.
Okay, all right.
Those scare the shit out of me.
But anyways,
they jump.
speaking of woodworking, I built a couple things in the garage, like the tire rack and the little thing to get the Moto 4 off the ground. And my approach to building anything out of wood is kind of funny because it's so wrong.
It's very metal-esque.
Because
yes.
it comes from metal, and I'm like, you could, especially when welding stuff together, like a pretty simple shape is plenty strong.
Right.
But it just like doesn't work in wood.
Yeah.
And it's funny because it's also like metal's expensive depending on what you're working with, and using kind of the bare minimum and like planning ahead and getting it done, probably as least amount of materials possible depending on what you're doing is like ideal. So then every time I build something out of wood and it's like a basic frame, and I'm like, man, I just got to keep like adding on like supports and gussets and like extra planks, and I don't know why I do that. And then every time I'm like, that was stupid. I should have just like designed this better from the get-go because wood is so cheap. I'm thinking I have to go buy like 4 sticks of wood at the Home Depot or whatever.
Sticks. You're already calling it sticks of wood. Like it's like sticks of tube.
Sticks.
Boards.
Branches.
Boards.
Sticks.
Yeah.
What,
Trunks.
I mean, how is it?
Planks of lumber.
I don't know how to
Trunks,
do this.
yeah.
I don't know how to do wood. But it's so cheap that I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Got to change your strategy,
Yeah.
and it's hard. It's a mindset.
Definitely had some weird cuts on the compressor hood. Just didn't really know what I was doing, so I just kind of like made up whatever. Attaching like a flat thing to the outside of a ribbed metal wall was kind of tricky. I had to cut the
Little
roof
spacers.
panel at an angle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you remove part of the siding when you did that?
No.
No, you just went over the
All on
siding.
the outside.
Dave, I don't really like you without a hat. Can you put it back on, please?
Wow. What's wrong with it?
Oh.
I don't know. I just don't see you without hats.
But also wood. Like I made the door.
I get that I'm losing my
Don't
hair,
cater
but-
to him. Don't do it.
He was gonna do it. Make him do it.
No. I'm not doing it. I'm fixing my hair.
So I made the door out of wood, obviously.
Wood.
Yep.
And I hung metal from it, the siding. And the first, when I hung it up, it was perfect. It would close perfectly. It just opened, hung, all good. Next day I come out, the thing's dragging on the concrete.
You need some shims there, guy.
It's
Yeah,
just
no, it's
wood.
just
It doesn't
it's outside.
Atmospheric
it's saggy
conditions.
and
And,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
It
very-
soaks up moisture.
twist and
And stupid.
I want to build a
stay
house
straight.
out of like DOM tube. Just build something out of like roll cage tube and to see the difference. And then put it through some like hurricane test or something. Like the building styles would just be drastically
Sounds
different.
Like a really
Would you-
expensive
Yeah.
experiment.
Okay,
Would
yeah,
you
maybe
start with
scale it.
tube or
Maybe
would you
scale.
start with like shipping containers and then add the tube in?
I don't know.
Like a house with a
Shipping
roll
container
cage.
houses are pretty cool.
That
They
is
are
cool.
really cool.
It's so
it's
cool.
such an awkward size though because they're not wide enough. So like you end up with
Yeah,
super
but you like
weird
weld them
rooms.
together and like cut the middles
That's
out.
so much weld.
But like, if you
Think
think
of the
if you're-
linear feet of
I
weld
mean,
there.
if you had X amount of money and like that was like your dream home, right? It would.
What's a cheap way to do it?
home?
They're like $1,500 a container.
Dude, I've seen
They're
some
so cheap.
really cool ones where I'm like, that would be sick. I would live there.
The hardest part's moving them around,
Yeah.
but you only have to do that once.
I mean,
Right.
Craigslist
What,
forklift.
not like moving a regular house is any easier.
Yeah, I suppose it's true.
True. But how many people move their physical houses nowadays? That's not really a.
It happens.
Yeah, it happens,
It
but just
happens.
not regularly.
Yeah, because they fall apart because they're made out of wood.
Right.
Exactly.
You
Mike,
could
you
move
could
it if they
solve
weren't
this
made out of
entire
wood.
problem. You could make an entire infrastructure
just
out of.
Put an
metal.
engine hoist hook on the peak of the roof, and you're
Yeah,
good to
just-
go.
Ah, boy. It's like all
A
TIG
trolley-
welded
a
aluminum or
trolley,
something.
Put an I-beam at the top.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Movie furniture with a crane for no reason.
Your crane.
Yeah, my crane.
Yeah.
That would be sick.
Wood's dumb. But
It's flammable too. We didn't even talk about that.
yeah.
Inherent.
Well,
flaws.
although-
a downside.
Yeah.
Big downside.
It was just not a good material to build houses out of.
But it does grow on trees.
True.
So
It's pretty cheap.
Also
it is
true.
cheap. Yeah.
Huh.
Okay,
I
well,
was just thinking
so
about
yeah.
all the cool houses I've seen that are built out of shipping containers. I'm just like, yeah. What else? What's the topic today, boys?
I don't know. What is the topic?
All right, let's check that.
Oh, wasn't
Let's check the Instagram to see what messages we
I
had.
put something on there,
Yeah,
but
Will
nobody
picked one.
responded.
I saw it. I liked it. Was it diesel versus gas versus
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Electric.
electric?
Yeah. It seemed like we were kind of working our way into that as a topic, because we've been covering sort of those in the last couple episodes. And I don't know. It's kind of like a lot to talk about. What's each one good at? What's it not good at?
Yeah, let's go with that because we don't have any new Instagram.
It was on
suggestions.
it was on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
But Somebody was asking about modeling carbon pieces.
Oh, we talked about that and maybe while Shane's filling in or something.
Mhm.
Cause
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a.
Yeah.
Shane's
he
got
just
some
did
stuff
the
to say about that.
Yeah.
the
He also
E36
likes wood.
stuff.
So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
a
He
side
likes
note.
wood and making
And
carbon
eating it.
fiber.
Yeah.
Eating what?
Yeah. Well, just plants.
Yeah.
Things
Oh,
like
He
oh.
likes.
I'm
yeah.
like, what? Why is
He has
it
one
just
with the
chewing on
plants.
wood?
he made that carbon engine cover. I saw that at his house yesterday.
That looked pretty good.
I will say I did see the
And this
updated.
is the Shane that helped you with your wood workbench thing.
It is.
Yeah, he likes it.
the updated E36 rear diffuser. After I had made my somewhat snobby comment about it being
It's not made out of wood or carbon fiber.
whatever. No, I was walking through the shop and he was fitting the other one up, and I was like, hey, that looks good, but you should make it wider or longer or whatever the term is to make it stick out more.
Mm-hmm.
And he did that, and I saw him working with it yesterday. Well, we're all there, and it was. I think it looks a little better. It looks a little bit more aggressive. It gives it more of a aftermarket instead of like an OEM plus look. It's like just like that tiny smidge of adjustment. Looks good.
Well, anyways, Shane will be on the podcast in one of these episodes,
Yeah.
and you can tell him more about your thoughts.
Yep.
Okay. So what are we talking about? Diesel versus electric versus
Gas.
gas. What about them?
What's
good about them?
What are
What's bad about them?
I feel like we should pick
What they have
versatile
their,
topic,
their
man.
own
I mean, that's it.
benefits in certain
Gas
situations.
versus diesel versus electric.
Well, where do you start?
Yeah, that's an
Excellent question.
Well, we all know why we like gas things.
Which one
but
was
why are
first?
they
I
good?
think you could just. I'm just going to go out on a limb here and just say electric is eventually just going to be better at everything.
Once
We're just-
battery technology
We're
gets
just
there,
not
yes.
quite there yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Well, actually, the technology probably is there. It's just probably not
it's not cost effective.
cost effective, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, and then gas versus diesel. I mean, shoot.
Yeah.
This goes back
As
to
long
the
as,
slow
like-
car, fast car, slow thing. It
Not
depends
really.
what
what's
you're using it
what's
for.
your
really.
biggest drawbacks to each? So, like, my biggest drawback to diesels is winter.
Yes.
And trying, and mostly, like, I can get halfway to work with no heat if I take the truck.
Also true.
The heat is a problem.
Yeah.
I would say that
Which
the
is great.
winter,
That's one of the benefits
What are
in
you
the rest of
talking
the time,
like
but-
strictly cold start?
Well, no, I don't even care that much. It is, cold starts are more difficult with a diesel.
Not
But
anymore. Again, things
Not
we can't
anymore.
afford. But the injector technology has come a long way. They got the fancy stuff
Yeah,
that
they're a lot
does
better.
does better things.
Yeah.
They're
in
also
fact,
very
you
quiet
don't
now.
generally don't
Yeah, they're a
even
lot
need
quieter.
glow plugs anymore.
right.
So, yeah, and they don't sound awful like a box of rocks.
Right.
Yeah, they're figuring that stuff out.
Yep.
Don't know a whole lot about it, the new stuff, but
Doesn't get great fuel. Well, I guess for a diesel car, you get pretty good gas mileage. But
Yep.
for the truck, like, doesn't get great mileage.
it's always
but
going to be
It's a
better
lot
than the gas
It's
equivalent.
It's
Right,
going to be
but
a lot
it's-
better than gas.
yeah,
when it's doing a
relative.
job.
Yeah.
You know,
Even when it's not.
Yeah, all the time.
It's still going to
Well,
be more
maybe
efficient.
if all three of you would leave your flipping foot out of it all the time, you would get better.
That's not
no,
one of my
no,
options.
no. I'm saying, like, if I drive my truck to work back and forth a bunch
Yeah.
of times, whatever, like, it's not getting great. It probably gets 18.
So, yeah,
16,
this,
okay,
is, this is
compared
where we
to-
start getting down to like pros and cons.
Well, that's-
to each,
Well,
right?
compared to
Right.
the same truck of the same era. Like, yes, if you compare it to a brand new Chevy, sure, those get 20 miles a gallon on gas.
Right.
If you compare it to the 1997 Dodge variant of yours
Oh,
with
my
the
Lord.
V8
It's not
gasser,
What year was my GMC?
Magnum.
Or even the V10. Yeah.
yeah, your GMC was what, a 2000?
Did about the same, but in gas.
Right.
Yeah.
But when I was hauling, the GMC got like 14,
Yeah.
13. It was like way worse. The diesel did much better.
Yeah. Yeah, this
Especially
is
like cruising on the highway. I got 23 on the way to, without towing, on the way to Syracuse.
yeah.
But I mean, so yeah, it kind of comes down to, I mean, if you're using it as a commuter, a daily, get from A to B situation, a diesel truck is still going to be worse than a gas car, or even a gas equivalent truck in some cases.
In some cases, yes.
So
Depends on your commute.
I don't feel like that's a fair like apples to apples
I-
comparison. I think
Well,
you have there's a job that needs to be done,
Right. I guess what I'm
and
getting at
there's
is that, like, if you're hauling a car down a highway with a gas motor and you're hauling a car down a highway with a diesel motor, you're going to probably end up better off with the diesel. It's just not trying.
yeah,
as
unless you're
hard.
going downhill. I agree.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, if you're restricted to having one vehicle, right? And it sucks because you like trucks or something like that, right? You like trucks, you want a diesel truck. And I mean, getting to and from work, I mean, it's not the right answer.
Well,
if you're talking
it's
about
not the wrong answer either, though.
Well, I guess okay. So we
It's not that
said
bad.
our topic was gas versus diesel versus electric.
You're making
we didn't say,
electrical noise over there, Dave.
I know, I'm sorry.
He's futzing around over there.
Yeah.
But oh well, you should have thought of that. Why
Okay.
didn't you just plug everything in off the bat? We didn't say what we were comparing them in necessarily, though, is the point. And I guess we assumed we were talking about like
Power?
economy.
Oh.
Well, I guess we all assume different things. Maybe
Power. I like
Power,
the different
fun
ways
factor,
to make power with
economy.
both.
Yeah,
Is
diesel is
interesting.
just easy.
Well, they're both easy. I mean, like, if you have a factory turboed car and you have a factory turboed gas engine and a factory turboed diesel engine, they're both similarly easy to make similar percentage gains.
Yeah. I agree.
The diesel truck market is currently the new Ricer from the 90s Civics. The diesel truck market
I think it
has
might
surpassed
be
it.
I think it's always been the Ricer market. We just haven't really been in tune with it.
I've been into it. It has been for a while, but that wasn't a thing in the 90s. Like,
what do you
because
mean?
you didn't have a
Where did you
great
live?
diesel truck option in the 90s, like in the early 90s.
Yeah, you really.
Yeah,
I mean,
Like,
yeah.
Did I lose on
yeah,
I mean,
the
you
first-
can't say like
No,
you could take a
I still
300D and make power easy. Like,
you can make more power.
What?
By,
Okay, so
yeah.
from a diesel car comparative, which is what the wagon is, I will say that overall, it's pretty equivalent to the other cars that I had. Like, it's pretty equivalent to the Mark IV, except for fuel mileage. Right? I get 55 miles a gallon in the wagon. And
Equivalent how? What are you doing? Comparing
I'm
mileage?
I'm saying like power wise, right?
Okay. Stock for stock?
Yeah.
What about dollars wise? Diesel costs more.
So I have to run premium and all, and
Yeah, okay, that's an
the
anomaly.
diesel actually
You don't have to.
because the diesel cost the diesel cost me less money to run than it would for me to drive the Mark IV every day.
Diesel is about the same cost as premium right now.
They flip flop. It's
It's
kind of
a
been
little
all over the
less.
place,
It's
but
a little
yeah.
lower, but
They've
But
been less.
I
They've been
get-
more. It probably evens out in the long run to
I get-
pretty close.
550
Per gallon wise.
almost 600 miles per tank in the wagon, and if I drive the Mark IV, I get like maybe 300 out of
How
it.
big are the
This-
tanks?
yeah,
You can't
this
go
It's the
buy
same
buy
size,
per
yeah.
tank.
14
Right.
gallons.
Okay.
And everyone knows that.
Yeah.
I don't never own a Volkswagen
Especially not a Mark IV.
or a Cinch.
yuck.
Whatever.
Put that on a soundboard. Mike, just yuck.
I hate Mark IVs
Why?
because it's a bubble. It's got the body
If it
lines
was-
of a baked potato. Like,
Do you not like baked
a newborn
potatoes?
baby.
they're delicious. I don't want to drive it.
I'll do anything for a baked potato. I don't care.
If you didn't put
Potatoes are good for so many things.
93 in the Mark IV of it, because you really don't have to at all.
So you can run 89 is the lowest you can run on that.
It's got knock sensors. You can run whatever you want in that.
Uh, false. So I've ran.
not gonna
I've
blow
run-
up, it'll
I've
make
ran-
less
knock
power.
sensor
I have
technology
ran
isn't
low
fantastic.
level fuel in the Mark IV, and it was pissed.
What happened?
It knocked really
Specifically?
bad. It knocked terribly and had terrible
you hear
power
it?
problems. Yeah, oh yeah. It's
Well,
not
then,
good.
yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, it was not good. Granted, the car has 200,000 miles on it now, and that probably happened, I don't know, 50,000 miles ago. But
Well, that's what knock sensors are for. You probably heard some noise and it pulled a bunch of timing and drove like crap. But
it did. It was awful.
yeah, but it survived.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, you can't run it all the time, so it's unpleasant. If you if you were forced to run low grade fuel all the time, it would be pointless.
Why don't cars come with knobs? Just
What do
like
you-
select a fuel knob.
Some of them do.
Because
nowadays.
people like
Flex
can't
fuel.
yeah.
Is now a thing. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, like
Again, I'm just like, not
Things we
thinking
can
about
afford.
Exactly. It all comes down to that.
the average consumer is not good at that.
No, they're not.
We'd be fine with it, but and honestly, it's like putting. Remember that discussion we had with one of our coworkers about putting your radiator fan on a switch? Like how it's the dumbest thing you could do.
Yes.
Like
Mine's on a switch.
Yeah, I know, but you also have one that comes on already. But like one that comes on its own that you don't think about. Like if you have a fan on a switch, your car will overheat at one point.
Oh yeah,
because you will forget to turn it on.
Yeah,
you are the
mine
problem.
off.
Yep.
Yeah, or the other opposite, whichever. Like
burn your battery
that's,
out.
I mean, that's my secondary fan switch, so I'm
right
turning it on early, but yeah.
Yep. It's just one of those things. Like there's a reason it went to computer controlled because people
also
are bad at it.
So easy to hook it up.
A lot of human error.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
So easy to hook it up with a relay and have it work.
Well,
correctly.
a lot of those cars nowadays, they can do the flex fuel automatically. They have sensors and stuff.
Yeah.
My buddy's
the sensors
got
are cheap.
My buddy's got a 2017 or 2018 Ford Fusion Sport.
Well, that's what
And
that's what all these aftermarket kits for like running E85 are using.
That's what he
this generic Continental.
It's a
ethanol sensor.
GM-based sensor. That's what I'm going to run with that, just because it's super popular. Like all the standalones work with it.
Yeah.
Everything's documented. You can plug it in. Your maps work. Like, why wouldn't you?
Yeah. I mean, it gives you the option to switch fuel without having to.
Well, you don't have to even like switch fuels. You can mix and like it'll adapt, and it doesn't matter. Like that's
Which
I'm
is
not
pretty
running
crazy
it
to
out
think
at
about,
93 to
honestly.
switch to like mostly E85 or whatever. It's a pain.
This is still kind of different
Yeah.
though because it's not like an octane sensor in a way because this is ethanol content. If you just went from a 93 to a 91, and
Yeah, it doesn't
still
work
pump,
that way.
Doesn't really help you. But
No, but it's a heck of a lot safer than.
I am curious. I don't know. I've never having never owned a factory flex fuel car. I don't know if it works that way. Can those run just like 89?
Probably.
For
They're
basically
probably
anything
designed-
factory can.
think-
Anything doing flex fuel has
Yeah.
a
Okay, so
modern
not-
NOx sensor, you know?
All right. The question was not can it run it because I know your answer.
Right.
To that.
I'm sure they expect people to run. But you sell a car, people are going to put the cheapest gas they can find in it, no matter what.
Unless you're us.
You're right.
Yeah.
But yeah, what you're saying is a flex fuel sensor does not pick up on octane level or anything
Correct.
like that.
Right.
It is strictly ethanol content.
Mhm.
So yeah, you're basing fuel quality off of NOx sensor
Yeah.
and the parameters.
And again, like new NOx sensing, either but the sensors and the coding essentially is much better than it was. Like
Yeah.
you just can't work with that on old 90s,
Basically-
2000s even technology.
everything from like the mid to late 2000s on,
Yeah.
essentially like you fire it up, the thing advances till it knocks, picks
Mhm.
it up, is like, all right, there's good, and it does that every drive cycle. Like,
I mean, it's a good strategy.
Yeah,
I mean, it
it
works,
makes sense.
especially in just gas-powered stuff because you're always, until you start running like really high concentrations of E85, you're always knock limited. You're not going to hit, maximum brake torque on pump gas.
it's very
without
rare
E85.
that that's possible.
So that's why, you just run it up till it knocks and back her down a degree, and it's
Yep.
good to go.
Yep, let her rip.
Meanwhile, diesels will run on whatever they will run
Yeah, I
on.
don't
French
want-
fry
yeah,
oil.
yeah, I don't want on
ATF, whatever you want to jam in there, yeah.
swamp water.
Swamp water.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
it's
yeah.
filter good enough. I don't run on swamp
Yeah.
water.
So that's the biggest issue is filtering. They
Yeah.
are very sensitive to that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
I
there's
did
no
just
such
order
thing
a
as
fuel filter for the old F-250.
good idea.
I did
Yeah.
that today.
I got a stack of them. They came with the truck.
Stack.
Yeah.
Yeah, some people change those like every couple thousand miles.
Yeah,
So-
I changed
yeah, I
it once the
changed-
pressure dropped off.
So
I don't have a gauge, so
Yeah.
yeah, on the wagon, I change it I do the oil change and service every like 10,000 miles, just because what it calls for. And I'm like, I'm not gonna change that unless it gets old, and then it puts a lot of miles on it. But
well,
I
that's
changed
always
the-
kind of been my strategy too. Is like I'm not gonna preemptively
Well, I changed-
change this stuff.
I
Like,
change
it's-
the fuel
If it has a
filter every
problem, then
time.
I'll fix it. But fuel is a weird one.
I change the fuel filter every time in that car, just because it's so easy to do on it. It's
Mhm.
right there next to it, and you're already doing that. You might as well do it. It takes 5 minutes. But on that car, it's probably a little bit different than most regular diesel trucks and other stuff like that. It's just easy access is the only reason I do it.
Right.
Mine's pretty easy. I'm not doing it until the pressure drops off again, though.
Yeah.
I wish they would make mine easier. It just makes a mess every time.
It is kind of a mess.
Where's it at on your truck, Kevin?
Under the throttle body ish
Oh,
area.
okay, yeah.
That if it had a throttle body,
Yeah.
that's where it would be.
Yeah,
Like where the intercooler piping comes up underneath there.
Yeah.
You have to like drain it from the bottom and then pull it out
Yeah.
the top, and it's a whole thing.
That's
Yeah.
what mine's on.
Then
top.
you
I
gotta
will
like
say-
try to fill it so it, because diesels are a pain in the ass
Yeah.
when you want to restart it after changing the filter, if you have any air in there,
it just won't.
Yeah,
It's pissed.
Yeah, no, that's the same thing with the wagon, and it's kind of annoying because the generations before that, you could cycle the key and it would prime the pump. Now you can't do that with that generation.
it primes the lift pump.
Well, it'll prime it, but
You
it
got
won't
no-
fill.
If you have a
It
lift
won't
pump.
fill the filter bowl essentially, right? So like you have to.
Well, there's air trapped in there.
Well, right, you have to run it with VAGCOM out of there, but which is kind of annoying.
But
'cause
you
I
can
gotta
fill it
use
with whatever. Like,
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
the other thing is you
so
don't have to fill
you-
with diesel. You can fill it with ATF or whatever you have nearby.
Fluid.
Fluid. Well, okay, not like straight oil though. It'd be
No.
pissed.
Yeah,
Maybe a
yeah.
very
Water.
light, like
kerosene and oil
0.20
is
maybe
fine.
or something.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I feel like but-
yeah, kerosene would be fine with.
Well, I guess another good point. I mean, as a checkbox under cons of diesel, especially older ones running out.
yeah,
Yeah,
Bad news.
yeah, but how often have you run your car out? I guess.
Never.
yep.
Me personally, never. Some people are oblivious
I've
to the
done it
world.
once.
Oh my lord, it
Yeah,
drives
I'm
me crazy.
paranoid.
When I get in people's cars and their gas lights on, I'm like, what are you doing?
I've only done it because of a bad gas gauge.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've done it
that's
once.
acceptable.
Yeah.
That's
That'd run a bike out of gas because I just bought it and I thought that the fuel light worked, but it didn't.
common mistake.
Yeah.
Oh, Kevin brought up a
But
good
no.
point. The lack of throttle body too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You don't have engine braking really with the diesel.
which can be scary sometimes.
Just compression.
depending
You're
on
not
the situation.
pulling vacuum.
Yeah,
Like,
the
it's
old
just a
Jake brake.
different- Yeah, get the exhaust brake in there. But
I will say my only gripe about the diesel from having it from a car standpoint is the wintertime.
yeah,
It's
the
kind
heat
of-
forever type of thing.
Well, it's the heat and my fuel mileage drops like crazy in the winter when it's cold
Yes.
because they put all the additives in the diesel for like whatever the winter additives.
and
So,
it's
like,
usually in the software too.
Yeah.
My truck
So
does it software related.
Okay.
Like, if you trick the intake air temp sensor to thinking it's 90 degrees out,
yeah.
it'll be fine again.
Okay.
Your fuel economy goes from like, I don't know, like 24 in the summer to like 17 just because it thinks
Yeah.
it's cold out now.
Right. I notice it around fall time. Like it usually like any temperature below like 65 or anything below that, my mileage starts to drop off. But other than that,
Well, how about electric cars? There's 18 different options for fuel. There's
what?
Well, I mean, you
Yeah.
gotta charge it somehow, right?
Yep.
So
You
Right.
can do the
I mean,
fast
you
charge,
can't
you
even-
can do the
Yeah.
slow charge.
you can't take a.
I'm talking about fuel, like wise. I mean, nothing's free, right?
Right.
So
It's like
Well,
you're
that
running
too.
a car on E85. Like you can't take a road trip without thinking about it ahead of time.
True. Yeah. You gotta make sure that you have planned stops and whatnot.
I am curious though because I think that isn't a big deal anymore.
It's
Charging
getting there.
stations.
Yeah.
A fast charge station is still a big deal. The slower stuff that like
Yeah.
you can
Yeah.
have on board to the vehicle,
Mhm.
that's
Right.
not as
so
big of a deal.
plan to stop for like an hour, right? Something like that.
It's more than that for the slow charge stuff. Fast charge is still like half an hour, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
So
It's a pretty long stop.
Yeah.
Considering
It's a long
I
stop.
hate stopping on road trips
Right.
so much. I hate it so bad.
You hold your pee for like way
Dude,
longer
yeah.
than you need to.
And then Lindsay
Yeah.
better be back from using the bathroom by the time it's done pumping. And that thing clicks off, I'm going.
Yeah.
Whether you're in the car or not.
I don't know. Major highways, yeah, but middle of Pennsylvania, hard to come across those.
Even just going through the Midwest, you're not
Right.
going to find a fast charge station.
I haven't. Is there any around here?
I haven't seen one. I haven't looked either.
There's
To be
some in
fair,
downtown Akron.
There's
So you gotta go to downtown Akron.
Yeah, there's
Just one
that
right
way,
around
while
the
your
corner
car's
from me.
charging, you're drawn to the local commerce.
This is one of those things. I'm not 100% sure because it might be one of those things you don't really pay attention to until.
let's do this.
Well, I can tell you right
Continue
now
your
that
conversation.
around the corner from my place at the what is it, like a Hyatt or something like that? There's a hotel right there across the street from the Summit Mall, and I didn't notice it one day until I was just kind of like staring around while pumping gas next door. That the hotel has fast charging stations outside.
Okay, so
Probably like only if you're staying at the hotel thing. No.
Yeah. No, I'm not.
So
saying
that's
so
like
that's
But regardless,
those are all fast charging stations and/or charging
yeah.
stations.
There's got to be what 10 of them.
Right.
Yeah.
That's pretty
That's
good.
impressive.
Yeah, I mean,
there's one down the street from me. How is that possible?
Right.
I'm just saying, I went on a road trip, like, 2014 with D30, and we were coming through Kansas, and we had trouble finding a gas station.
Mm-hmm.
Never mind an electric charge station. Like, we got to this town, everything was closed because it was, like, after 7:30 or something like that. And, like, the gas station was closed, and the next town was 45 minutes away, and we were already, like, driving around with the gas light on. Sketchy business. So, I think planning ahead with the electric thing is more important.
Yeah, I'd be surprised to see a Tesla roaming around in those neck of the woods.
Yeah. But you don't have to, that's the thing, like, a cross-country trip in a Tesla, not as feasible right now. Or not as feasible as a gas thing right now.
I mean, I'm sure you can be done, but you know, now that I think about it, why don't they make the roofs of those things like PV cells?
Yeah, a big solar panel.
Yeah, like just in an emergency.
Right, just hang out.
Yeah, maybe you got to stop every 20 minutes and let it charge up again, but still, at least you're not like completely stranded.
You're stuck in the rain for a week.
Oh man, that would suck.
It would make a lot of sense. Maybe it just costs $1 million. I don't know.
They're probably expensive, and yeah, then who's getting paid to charge it, you know?
How long does it take? Yeah, that's true. How long does it take to charge? I was looking this up earlier. It says the equivalent energy out of like 1 gallon of gas is roughly 33 kilowatt hours. And it said apparently there's some lower capacity cars that can only charge up to 10, but most are between like 30 and 50 to charge, like a full charge.
Huh. That's pretty good.
Yeah, you're looking at full charges costing less than $10.
Yeah, that's cheaper than anything else, for sure. Yeah.
That's cool.
A lot of those have the fast chargers too, so it's like you can do it quickly. They have like 10-minute fast chargers that'll charge you up like 45 or 50%.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which is like...
I'm curious what that does to the batteries, because it's like the cell phone.
I would imagine it's not really any different than your cell phone.
Optimal charging method, for sure.
Right.
Well, it depends what the battery's rated for, doesn't it? Like
no, like fast charge rates with current battery technology does degrade them pretty rapidly.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
What's going to happen in 20 years when we got a bunch of dead-ass batteries?
Dead-ass.
Yeah.
From original Teslas.
I feel like that's
piles of platinum
the
just
whole
like sitting
throw 'em in
around
the
for
ocean.
no reason. Yeah.
Goes back to that meme.
Mm.
Yeah, I know. I think that's the biggest question that like most normal people have. Like, yeah, it's efficient now, but like, what are we going to do with the waste that it's going to create? Because I mean, you have to have plants that manufacture the batteries, and that's not,
it's a rare earth metal.
Yes.
So I mean, even gathering the materials needed to produce the batteries is
unless
pretty
we start
wasteful.
sending ships to Mars to bring
Start looking into ways to recycle it.
Yeah.
Or
Make
synthesize
$1 million idea. Right there.
Yeah.
Nice.
Figure out how to
Synthetic
recycle
platinum
old car
or whatever's
batteries.
in those
Ooh,
things.
yeah, I'm sure that's doable. You could like just
Yeah,
make
it's
it do
just
something.
like $1 million.
Hydrogen
That's
fuel cells.
$1 million
That's
now.
the future.
Exactly.
I will say, I'm pretty sure my buddy's brother-in-law ran a hydrogen fuel cell with his diesel on his Golf.
You can
Like,
do it.
he-
It's
he-
just super sketchy right
he like
now.
made
'cause
he made
hydrogen.
it, and he said that it was like his fuel mileage went up like crazy, but
Mhm.
it is super sketchy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they need just a better containment method for
Yeah.
hydrogen.
That's
what
the
are-
thing. It's like
yeah.
getting in an accident with a hydrogen
Yeah.
fuel cell's scary business.
Yeah.
yeah,
Same thing with like propane.
Buses,
like, propane
yeah,
works,
Propane
but
works. There's
buses
natural
run,
gas
yeah.
stuff. cruising
CNG.
around.
yeah, yeah, a lot of the public transportation, buses, things like that.
Yeah, because they don't
natural
kill you.
gas, Yeah.
but yeah.
So I don't know if there was a winner here or
There's no winner.
I don't think
They're
I
just
don't think
different.
this was
Depends
a
on where
winner
you're going.
conversation. This was a basically a strictly opinion conversation. I mean,
Let's
look,
we do need
none
to
of us
attempt
here-
to break this down. I
Well, here's
think.
the thing.
So
I feel
like,
Well, this is like the power side of things.
right. Let's
Yeah.
let's break it down to like performance aspects.
okay.
I don't think
economy
we even
aspects.
really
So,
touched on the performance aspects.
We did.
From my perspective, I'll start. I think that
Okay,
you can
Dave.
get.
I guess so. Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
going to be
Go
short.
ahead.
I'm going to be short. That's why I'm starting.
You go first, Dave.
I think that with computer technology now and automotive technology and how much tunability you have on things, I think that the gas technology and the diesel technology from a performance standpoint is pretty similar. Now, I think power outputs are obviously going to be higher for diesel stuff with
that's not
certain
true.
modifications, but
the modifications you make
Right.
are very different.
Yes.
I think, yeah, it's tough.
It is a
Like
tough
everything,
call.
it's a system of compromises. Like
Right.
anything you're doing to increase power on any vehicle is a compromise for some other reason.
True.
Whether it be longevity, drivability,
Mm-hmm.
you know, the ability for your grandmother to drive it without dying. Like there's a million different compromises. Like that's why you bought the car you did.
Right.
Like, that's why the OE doesn't give it 1,000,000 horsepower.
Yeah.
Unless you're Dodge. Dodge doesn't care.
The Hellcat. Yeah, but even that, like, that's a pretty heavy car. Like,
Yeah.
there's a reason they were able to bring that to market. Like, it is pretty tameable.
Yeah. But I don't know. Just in
Because
my opinion, I
computers.
think diesel and gas stuff is, from a performance aspect, is similar in my book. Just depends on how much money and what you want to spend.
People just
on.
like, I don't know, kind of
It-
knock it a little bit. No pun intended. You know, when thinking about a performance car,
Right.
you know, not talking about trucks even. So if you're, that's not the first thing that comes to mind. You're thinking
No, of
like
course not.
turbo gas thing or big V8s and
Right.
all that. But, you know, they are pretty impressive, especially like Volkswagen stuff. And I mean, just even flashing a factory car,
Yep.
a factory turbo diesel car is
Speaking of,
pretty wild.
so the wagon is 140 horse stock and 220 foot-pounds of torque stock. With the stage 2 flash and like a downpipe, it's like well over 300 foot-pounds of torque by
Yeah.
like a lot.
Right. I
Which
don't
is
even think
insane.
I don't even think you need a downpipe for that. Like, you don't need one.
Right. But like it the torque numbers are insane just
Yeah.
from like that perspective. So
Yeah,
I
but
think it depends what
So
you're
is the
using it
2OT,
for.
though. Like, the torque
Right.
numbers are insane. with
well,
similar
right, but, like,
modifications.
You know, it's all what do you have available and how much money are you going to spend? Right.
We're talking the same thing.
Right.
Same amount of money.
Yeah, it's
Same
probably about the same.
availability.
Okay, from
Same
a
availability.
Volkswagen car perspective, it's in my opinion it's the same or it's close to the same. A GTI, a Mark 6 like Mark 7 or whatever GTI with the same bolt-ons that a diesel would have, like a TDI common rail, it would be very similar in the power.
I think you're in the same boat kind of regardless. Like, I'm thinking of it like turbo diesel truck versus LS thing.
Right.
The amount of you're going to do slightly different modifications, but power per dollar is probably pretty similar.
Right.
Mhm. Which is more fun to drive, though.
Depends what you're
Ooh,
doing.
Yeah, it depends what you're doing.
If you're into one of the, you know, redneck guys doing sled pulling or something like that,
Yeah.
diesel truck stuff's probably up your alley. Like,
Well, yeah. I mean, there's no
I mean,
market for like
I'm not gonna
gas
pull with my
truck.
That's not true.
they
No,
do
there-
that too.
There is a huge. I see. I
Yeah,
know people
hey,
that
man,
pull
I'm-
gas trucks all the time.
Neither is for me, so don't get me wrong. But
I like it, but that's just my inner Ohio.
I'll go
coming
watch.
out.
Like, that's
oh, it's fun to watch.
yeah.
The only reason I go, because this happens every year. The only reason I go is to watch all the kids that I went to high school with break their expensive trucks that they just bought.
I
That's
can't
the
get
only
into
reason I go, and I'm like, ha, you spent $70,000 on that truck, and now it's busted.
Hey, I mean, you could say the same for anything else.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like any other hobby. Like,
Yeah.
you drive a Volkswagen. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
No,
they're
I
probably
get it.
thinking that.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm sure.
They are probably.
But at the end
Right.
of the day, we're both doing dumb things that we enjoy.
right,
And
exactly.
that's all
You're
that
blowing your money on something.
Right. But I don't know. That's just my thoughts on it. Diesel gas things.
Yeah, is it like fun to drive? Like, I don't know. I've had, you know, driving like something LS manual that's kind of quick, tons of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Driving something that sounds like a mini Peterbilt driving around, also tons of fun.
That's still tons of fun, even when it's slow, though.
Exactly. Well, yeah, either way, both.
Yeah.
You know, there's plenty of slow things that are fun and fast things that are fun. So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is it fast though?
Ooh,
Oh,
nothing's
no.
fast. We're not going down that road
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, I just was thinking about that the other day. It's like it really just comes down to perspective.
It does.
It
Fast
Yeah.
diesel needs like 2,000 foot-pounds
If you
of
hop
torque.
up, no, because if you hop up your thing and you're like, "Holy crap! I've never driven anything this fast before. This is the fastest thing I own, or fastest thing I've ever driven."
Yeah.
Then that's fast to
That
you.
is funny. I've
And then a
given
month from
people.
then, when you're like
it's
used to it,
perspective.
that's the trouble.
Yep.
Okay, well, either way,
It's when it's still a surprise later. That's where I think fast is, where like it doesn't wear off.
When
Yeah.
you get scared.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
not just the first time you drive it.
Right.
Like, the 30th time you drive it, it's still the
when
same.
you get in
amount
it,
of,
you
like,
turn a
whoa.
key and you're like, "Ooh, I'm still terrified of this, but it's fun to drive." But I don't know.
well, there's that jabroni in his Tesla that went out like drag racing everyone.
Yep.
I did not see that.
It's like a gutted
Yeah,
Tesla.
I did
He's
not.
got like a YouTube
Is it
channel.
even gutted?
I
I
think
feel like
so,
it was
yeah.
just stock.
How do you
No,
gut?
guy's got,
I feel like there's so much computer stuff in there. How do you gut a Tesla?
I'm talking about like rear seat.
Oh, okay. Just like
Nothing-
basic,
yeah,
not
no
like full
interior.
gut, just like interior
Well,
removal.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
weight's
think
weight.
there's a bunch of stuff that doesn't work now. But
it's
Yeah,
essentially
for
just
sure.
a golf cart with 70 batteries in it.
electronics are heavy, man.
Is that the dude that was on
Sure.
the fastest car? Netflix.
Oh
Maybe,
wait,
yeah.
I think maybe I
wait,
scrolled
no, I
past
don't
that on
think so.
Facebook.
No, there's a
It's a
Tesla
bunch
guy
of
on there.
1320
Was there?
videos.
Yeah.
I think it's that guy.
White.
White, yeah. Yeah, it was that guy.
Was it?
Yep.
Maybe I haven't seen all those.
Hey, just
My buddy
shows
Josh
up
was in
and
that
it's like,
episode with his Hilux, and he lost to
Yeah, I
that
saw
Tesla guy.
that. He went out pretty quick.
Yeah, that was that Tesla
First
guy.
round, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So anyway, this guy shows up a bunch of 1320 videos, like just drag racing his dad's Tesla.
Oh,
Well, that's how he always sells it to like piss people off.
Yeah,
I don't think
yeah.
it really is.
It's my
I think it
dad's.
is actually his, but
I feel like
I don't know if he bought it.
Yeah, whatever.
The thing, like destroys
oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
cars
it's
that are
crazy.
built for drag racing. You know, and people get pretty butthurt about it.
Why this no motor car go fast my gas car?
It's actually
I mean,
four.
it's
Whatever.
yeah, it's 4-motor car,
You know what I mean.
but you know, out of the bag. What do you do for modifications there?
You don't
Mess
need
with
to.
Tesla software.
Yeah, you
Right.
Talk
you
about flashes.
You
I mean,
add
that's all you do.
What is it? What's the mode?
Ludicrous.
Ludicrous
mode.
mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
No, in order to increase the performance of like electric cars, there's really not a whole lot to it. They're limited by
yeah.
discharge capacity of the
Oh,
batteries,
It's like thermal capacity too.
and thermal
See,
capacity
but here's
of the
the
motors.
question.
Yeah.
If he's drag racing that many times, or however many times he's going on the track, comparatively to a drag, I wouldn't say drag car. Let's say a purpose-built weekend drag car. So one that's not like a professional drag car. How many times can you go down the track in that Tesla before it overheats compared to a...
Honestly, I bet the Tesla can go more runs.
You think
Yeah.
so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't, yeah.
A
You
gas
can't
drag car,
hot
like-
lap
No,
a
I
drag
just-
car. I mean,
No, yeah. I mean, if it's a purpose-built drag car, you're trying to make it so that it's not hot lappable,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah.
That's just
I mean,
added weight, really. If you're trying to
some
get
of
that
them don't
thermal
even
capacity.
run water anymore, right? I mean,
Some don't run coolant. If
what
you're
I mean.
if you're running methanol or
they're
something
not
like
running
that,
coolant. You can't run coolant. I'm
yeah,
just saying
like
they're.
top fuel drag cars got nothing. It's just a block,
Well, yeah, you got methanol.
right?
Works just as good.
Yeah, well, once. Like,
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
not
yeah,
doing
no,
back-to-back runs with
No,
methanol.
you're not getting right back in the lane. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously those things are going to protect themselves before
Well, right.
anything
I
any
feel like there's
damage
a lot of-
happens. But
Yeah, there's a lot
yeah,
of
I think you
fail-safes.
could just keep going and going and going.
I feel like we need to get someone in with a Tesla, and we can be like, we should...
Got some news for you, buddy.
Dude.
Yeah, we'll talk about that after.
Wah, wah. Oh, never mind. It just clicked. I had to take a conversation that I had heard like this past week,
Mm-hmm.
and
This isn't interesting for other people.
No,
I know.
or it is because it's a mystery.
Wah, wah,
Mystery.
wah.
Yeah, I would take any one of any power. I don't know. I'm the type of person that like I appreciate all mechanical objects.
Yeah,
So like
It's my
it doesn't
life's
matter
goal
to me.
to own one of everything.
Exactly. Same.
There are many
don't-
things that are pretty high on the list, and
Yeah.
then there are things that are certainly near the bottom. But
Right.
ideally, I would like to have played with every type of motor, every type of fuel.
yep.
Yeah.
All
Every
of them.
vehicle, every motor sport. Like
Yeah.
I want the variety. I want to experience all that. So
Right.
I
So you can never
definitely
get
would-
enough.
Yeah.
No.
Not opposed to the electric stuff. Not opposed to diesel stuff or gas stuff. Like all of it's awesome. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm a fan of all the above. I'd like to see where each one goes. I wish that the electric motorsport stuff was getting. I know it's going
Oh,
to
they
increase.
will.
They're getting
It's
there.
increasing now, but I wish it was at the same scale as other things were. Just because I think,
you have to get
They're all very
spectators on
similar.
board. That's the hard part.
yeah,
Because they're just the spectator experience isn't the same.
no, because
So
it's quiet.
Actually, they're not
Yeah.
quiet, and they make
They're not
horrible
quiet.
noises.
yeah.
Really?
I mean, if from an
High pitched, like. Ugh.
honestly, that's what a lot of people would say about
It's not even that.
whatever
It's like
we
the
put an exhaust
sirens
on.
that they have to put them on.
That's dumb. I agree with
You
that.
can't even
Wait,
hear the
what?
motors anymore. Well, like, because yeah,
That's
you
like
can't
hill
hear them
climbs
coming.
only.
Hill
That's
climbs.
not hill climbs only. They have them.
It's
like,
not. They're
They
not
put
doing that
what
at
now?
a track.
No.
You know what I mean? It's the
But
thing
when-
where there's
well, it depends.
spectators.
So like the Formula E stuff, they do have them for when they're not running at like closed road courses. Because
if there's a chance for a spectator to be in the way or an innocent bystander, that's when they have to do it.
Right. Which is actually a lot of places in like the Grand Prix, like world stuff that they do.
That's fair.
But yeah, I don't know. That takes away from it a lot.
But I'm thinking like your generic person down the street who's not into cars would also say our cars sound terrible.
They're wrong though.
They're wrong. I understand they're wrong, but I think people will also say we're wrong about electric cars sounding bad. Like in a couple of years when like that's the noise of fast, because it doesn't matter what it is. Whatever is fast
true.
sounds good.
That's true.
Like rally cars sound awful just driving around normal, but when they're flat out on stage, it's the coolest sound ever.
I don't know. I prefer to hear the transmission.
Yeah, I know.
So, like that's what sounds fast.
Right, I agree. Straight cut gears.
Yeah.
But Dave, how are we doing on time? Are we texting, not paying attention?
4:30.
4:30.
Well, I know what time it is.
I could have looked that up. How long have we been doing this? Jesus.
Oh, it's where
It's Friday.
Yeah, it's Friday. That's
It's
for sure.
Friday,
I know where we're
everybody.
going with this.
Make sure you tune in to iTunes, Spotify,
You're just gonna end it?
iHeartRadio.
That wasn't really what we were asking. But
Yeah, that's not what we're...
Well, go ahead. Yeah, I mean, you're already on the way out.
We're at an hour 2.
All right.
Okay,
It's
fine.
time to.
Thank you.
That's what we wanted. That's all I was asking.
All right, guys.
Coming up a couple sandwiches short of a picnic over there.
I would like a sandwich. Would you like to make me
I don't
one,
think he has
Kevin?
any sandwiches. 'Cause if he did, I wish I was invited.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah, basically, everything's
What
cool.
a weird episode, man.
Yeah, this is a strange one. So
Okay.
I'm trying to like
We had to
wrap
have-
this up if that's what we were near the time. If
We
we were
had to
like
have
20
one-
minutes in.
You know, kind of failure.
One?
Oh, you know,
Oh,
there's
come
a
on,
sprinkle
This
in
is
here
no
and there.
worse than any other one.
You're right.
It's not. Come on.
It's maybe slightly
Well, if
worse,
you don't
but-
want to do it, then you don't have to come, Mike.
We're at my house.
Yeah, he doesn't have a choice.
It's fine.
So think of this episode more so as a like a
public
brainstorming session.
And like a
So-
public service announcement. If you're into like motorsports things, keep an open mind.
Oh,
Be
yeah.
into everything because it's all cool.
Right.
So gas versus diesel cars, equally as good, in my opinion.
Equally
Yeah.
cool.
Yep.
Equally cool.
We have
equally
less cool
as
ones
moddable,
here than overseas. But
especially
sure.
you know anything past like 92, 93. It's pretty fair game. Older than that, the diesels are kind of
yeah, it's
it's a lot more work.
Yeah.
It's more like hands-on, less flashy.
Fair.
Like
The cars are cooler, like
Yeah.
body wise. But
Yeah, that's for sure.
anyways,
Yeah.
trucks. I mean, as long as you're using it for a truck, a diesel's probably better.
well, it doesn't. If you just want a diesel,
Well,
then have it.
that goes
Like-
back into like small body trucks though too that are.
Yeah, but those
people
aren't
use
like
for.
Yeah, but that just
I don't
does
care.
car things with a
yeah
bucket in the
Yeah,
back.
you're right.
for when you just like need
So-
to
I
was
go
just-
get a bag
my
of
buddy's-
Quick Crete.
My buddy's Cyclone popped into my head for a second. And I was like, he
Well,
doesn't.
that's
he
totally
do-
different.
Right. He doesn't do truck things with it. He does race car things with it.
I don't care if you do truck things with it. You can just
Well, you
you know
really
drive to
can't.
the mall
You
with
can't
like a
really.
diesel truck for all I care. If that's what you're into, do it.
He's
Whatever.
saying the other way around. Like,
Oh.
when
Whatever.
you have if you want a truck to do truck things, don't buy the tiny gas thing.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Buy the one you can afford and then figure it out.
Buy the most truck you can afford.
Right.
Yeah.
And then electric, I mean, it's going to take the cake. For
It's
everything
someday.
Eventually.
Yeah.
So
We're not there yet, but it's not affordable for us yet.
No.
Not yet.
It'll get there.
Probably in
Excited
the
to play
next.
with it, though.
Probably in the next 5 or 6 years. I would imagine. Might be.
We didn't even talk about hybrids, but
I
Oh,
think
boy.
they're going the way of the dinosaur.
eventually.
They're
But
skipping
right
them.
now,
Yeah, they're still a pretty
yeah.
hot topic. It does
So I
extend
don't know.
the
Like
range.
I said, use this episode as more of
Well-
like a brainstorming session and think about.
Yeah,
I don't know.
brainstorm, keep an open mind.
There's also the hybrids that are meant to go fast.
That's true.
Mm.
That's true.
Torque vectoring electric motors, but like gas for the big power straights and stuff.
Yep.
And you don't have to worry about recharging them.
That is cool.
Well, plugging them
That's the
in to
best.
recharge them,
That's
I
the
should
best
say.
of both worlds, though. It's kinda.
Right now.
Yeah.
Right now.
Right now, yeah.
This is what you're gonna get.
It won't be. Electric will still take over.
Yeah. Yeah.
When the
It is
entire
good.
track is one of those charging mats for your phone,
Oh yeah.
and then you never have to worry about it again.
When everybody has cancer from radiation. Great.
Well, maybe it'll charge us one day too.
Yeah.
Are you feeling okay, Will? Okay. I feel like that's enough of an episode for today.
Yeah.
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 All right, now
Congratulations,
you can go on your
everyone
wrap-up,
who
Dave.
made it through this one.
Yeah.
It
was a
even
doozy.
that bad. Y'all are hyper.
We didn't come in with enough purpose.
I think
No.
this week has maybe burnt a handful of us out, mostly all of us. But
Been
next
a lot
week,
of catching up to do.
next week we'll find something interesting to talk about, hopefully, or at least
Next week,
Send us your
someone will be
suggestions, you
filling in
jerks.
for me because I will be out next week.
Oh yeah, so it'll be mostly Shane, maybe talking
Shane or Matt,
about
I forget who's
Yeah,
first,
I forget
but
stuff.
No, I think
Shane or
Shane's
Matt?
out next week. It's got to
So,
be Matt.
I think Matt's gonna be first.
Well,
And
whoever, yeah.
we'll figure it out.
Yeah,
You'll be surprised.
When you know, you know.
Yeah.
It won't be me.
Rip.
R.I.P.
All right. Well, catch us on Instagram at CAD Cars and Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, and did we add a new one?
Ooh, yeah.
Stitcher? Is it
Stitcher.
Stitcher.
Yeah. Check us out on Stitcher also.
Which I had not heard of. honestly.
Send us messages about things you want us to talk about,
Mhm.
even if we don't know anything about them. It's fun for us.
We will research it better than this.
Right. Oh, it's not even that bad. But yeah, that's it for today. Stay tuned for more nonsense, and we're out.
Bye.
Bye.